Alright, this will be a quick demonstration on masking. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to import some things into my library and onto the stage to get ready to do this masking tutorial. It'll be kind of like a spotlight type of mask, and as we go through you'll see what I mean in more detail. So I'm importing an image that I created in Maya, and then I'm importing a background, which is a tiled brick background or texture. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on the stage, go to properties, and adjust the size to fit the original image of my Batman, which would be 1280 by 720. I'm going to fit it into the window, and then I'm going to go ahead and create a new layer. I'll rename this one first. Create a new layer. You can name it background or whatever you'd like. I'm going to name it brick. And I'm going to select the rectangle tool. I'm going to make it a little bit larger than the stage. And I'm going to do a bitmap fill on this. Go ahead and select your image and use the paint bucket tool to paint it within the rectangle. Create a new layer, and this one I'm going to call Spotlight. This will be my spotlight for the mask. And what we're going to do here is we're going to create a shape. I'm going to Control-Z that and use the oval tool. And I still have the bitmap fill, so I'm going to go ahead and change that. And we'll make it yellow. It doesn't really matter because you're not going to see it anyway. But I just want to make sure it's clearly defined from the background than it is to the actual circle. So, and I wanted to be able to make it an alpha, adjust the alpha on it so I could see what the mask will be seeing. Now I'm just going to drag out my timeline. About 72 frames, which is approximately 3 seconds. And I'm going to go ahead and just start making some key poses for this, keyframes. I'm going to just do it every 10 frames just for the purpose of the demo. Insert keyframe and adjust. Insert keyframe and reposition. Insert keyframe. Another way to do this is F6 is the keyboard shortcut for inserting a keyframe. But just so you can see what I'm doing, I'm right-clicking. Reposition, insert keyframe, reposition, insert keyframe, insert keyframe, and I'm going to use the free transform tool and make it appear as if the spotlight finally saw this person, and I'm just going to have it expand larger to cover the entire character. Then I'm going to go ahead and insert classic tweens to get the movement going through all the frames, through all the keyframes. Just right click in between each keyframe and click classic tween, create classic tween. And then just go ahead and double check to make sure that it tweened the way you'd like it to. And in this case it didn't, so as you can see it jumps from there to the next keyframe, which I didn't want, so I'm going to insert a keyframe just before it. I'm going to resize it with the free transform tool, and now you'll see that it becomes larger. So I'm just going to play it for you, and that's what happens. So you have your classic tweens, and what we're going to do now is we're going to right click on the layer and click mask. It's important that you have these layered properly. So as you can see, I have my character just underneath the spotlight layer, and then my background all the way at the end. And you'll see that only what appears in that circle will be visible. So I'm just going to go ahead and create a folder for this and call it mask. It's always good to keep your layers organized. And then I've got my mask layer, or my mask folder, so anytime I need to access anything in there, I just open the folder. And next thing we're going to do is I'm just going to create folders for these to keep my library organized. I'm going to make one called Tweens. I'm going to click and drag, or click the first one, shift click the last one, and drag it into the Tweens folder. Create a new folder, and I'll call this background. And as I import things to the stage or to the library, I would just continue. If I had a background image, I would drop it into the background folder. And if I had any additional characters or something, I would just import it into my character folder, or any other characters, and just to keep things very organized. It's always good practice, and it will make your life easier. And there's lots of things you can do with this, but this is the basis just to get the mask going. So if you wanted to make it just completely black, and go ahead and change the color under swatches or color palette. Doesn't matter how you do it. So I got my black background over the bricks, and I'm just gonna change the alpha a little bit to make it look like it's dark. And then there you go. You have your dark background to make it kind of appear like it's night. And then you have your spotlight mask tweening over it, and then there you go. That's it playing in exported Swift. So I hope this demonstration on masking was helpful for you. And that's about it.